class, everybody. Today, I'm going to talk about the ethics of three philosophies. Three completely different philosophies. Okay. And so, I'm going to start off by reading from The Virtue of Selfishness by Ayn Rand, one of my favorite philosophers of all time. Let's read a quote that she quoted. She quoted from Atlas Shrugged. One of her books, one of her first few books she wrote. She wrote. And then, I'm gonna read from this first page of the first chapter, The Objectivist Ethics by Ayn Rand. The quote goes as follows. Through centuries of scourges and disasters brought about by your code of morality, you have cried that your code had been broken, that the scourges were punishment for breaking it, that men were too weak and too selfish to spill all blood it required. You damned man, you damned existence, you damned this earth, but never dared to question your code. You went on crying that your code was noble, but human's nature was not good enough to practice it. And no one rose to ask the question, good by what standard? By what standard the code of the time in the 60s, in the late 60s, one of the dominant ideas of the time was Christianity and postmodernism, and a little bit of nihilism too. What's that? Early 60s. So the code that she's criticizing is the altruistic code of Christianity mostly, and punishment. Like, people get punished because they don't follow the code. Christianity, that's basically what Christianity is about. Like, if you sin, if you break the code of sin, of the Ten Commandments and all that, then you get punished, whatever. But that's just supernaturalism. That's just non-reason. That's just faith-based beliefs. That's Christianity. And objectivist ethics, virtues, and all that is greed is okay. Greed, like, what is greed? The question you have to ask when it comes to greed, you have to ask, what is greed? Or what type of greed? What mind frame of morality is greed centered in your own lives? Is greed centered on altruism? Then greed is bad. If it's centered on individualism and selfishness, objectivist frame of mind of greed, then greed is good. Greed is good. But if your frame of mind is Christianity, then you think that greed is bad. So there's good and there's bad type of greed. Greed, what I'm talking about, is what objectivism would say, that rational self-interest. And that greed, when you love somebody, you experience that love. You're experiencing that love, and that's greedy. No one else experiences the love in the world, the type of love that you love for your family, for your friends. No one else is feeling your love, but only yourself. Unless the person is gaining from that love that you have of that person, then that's still greedy. So it's only you and the other person. The two parties, that's in mind is gaining from the greed. They're gaining emotional gain, emotional self-interest. That's good greed. That's good greed. And when you get a job and you need to pay rent and put food on your kids' plates and put clothes on their backs and all that, that's greed too. That's greed. Because that's your family. That's not other people's family. That's your family. That's greed. Greed is good. And sadism, greed, almost the same as objectivism, morality. When it comes to greed, it's good too. It's good. And what else? So greed is good. Greed is selfish. It's good. Rational self-interest. That's what it's all about in objectivism. Rational self-interest. And in Satanism, it's rational self-indulgence. Rational is the word right there. Rational. In objectivism, rational self-interest. It's more of a long-term thing to have. Rational self-interest will benefit you in the long run, like good health, your values, Me, I value my good health, even though I'm drinking some soda, but good health, and trying to cut down on meat, trying to cut down on junk food, and cut down on soda. This is a small soda, almost a liter of water. Water's better. I drink more water than soda. In the long run, I'm thinking about the long run. Objectivism, self-interest, yeah. And Dudism, ethics of Dudism, like the main thing is to keep a limber mind. That's mindfulness. Mindfulness manifests into morality. Mindfulness, then action. Mindfulness first, peaceful mind, state of mind of peaceful, of bliss, and calmness, and in action, calmness, and dealing with people calmly, and zen, very zen. So yeah, and so that mindfulness manifests into morality, or pseudo-morality, if you want to call it that, but it's still morality. Yeah. Like Satanism, their morality, like if someone trying to hurt you, hurt them back. If they hit you, if someone hits you, hit them back. That's morality. That's, eye for an eye, cheek for a cheek, leg for a leg. Well, Christianity also has that morality too, but it contradicts itself. The Bible contradicts itself. It says turn the other cheek, and then another chapter, another verse of the Bible says an eye for an eye, cheek for a cheek. So yeah, it contradicts itself. But these three philosophies, objectivism, Satanism, Dudism, doesn't contradict themselves. Those three philosophies that we are speaking of right now. Yeah, virtue, selfishness, and rational self-indulgence in Satanism. Rational self-indulgence is like whatever feels in the moment, like hedonism. They're hedonistic. Ethical hedonism. Ethical hedonism is Satanism. Satanism, where's my necklace at? And this is the symbol of Satanism. Not that star with a circle that's pointing upward, but the star and the circle that's pointing downward. That's the satanic logo, the Satanism logo. This one right here. This is another one right here that Anti-Levine also made right here. Satanism. That's the satanic cross, not an upside down cross. That's not satanic cross. This is satanic cross right here. This is the Leviathan cross right there. The founder of Satanism, Anti-Levine. We get into that religion, that philosophy some other time, but right now we talk about the one we are talking about Satanist ethics, this ethics of Satanism. And self-indulgence, like I said before, is hedonistic ethics. Hedonistic ethics. Like right now, this feels good, but rational. Drink some soda, but I'm not gonna do this like every single time. I'm just gonna like try to finish this up first and then drink this. But like rational. Like what is rationality? Rationality is logic and reason. Rationality is logic and reason. And what else? Yeah, that's about it. Logic, you think, well, reason, thinking. Logic is like, is this good for me? This is bad for me. So most likely I won't drink this too much because it's bad for me. So try to drink something that's good and it will benefit me right now. It will benefit me right now. It will feel good, have a good, selfish, prideful feeling of health, trying to be better myself. Also self-indulgence. I know it feels good at the moment. That's my philosophy of my ethical philosophy, rational self-interest and indulgence. Yeah, my philosophy. But I'm not here to talk about my philosophy on this video. I'm talking about three philosophies. Well, it's kind of like my philosophies because I adopted most of these philosophies. I also put my own ideas on there. I want to share my ideas one day. One day I might share my ideas. But right now, well, these are our ideas because ideas are thoughts in the head. their thoughts, ideas, or thoughts. So I'm expressing my philosophy, my ideas, my wisdom. Yeah, philosophy of these three philosophies. So yeah, rational self-indulgence, rational self-interest, two different egoist ethics, egoism, two different versions of egoism, hedonism and selfishness. So yeah, that's the ethics of those three philosophies: Satanism, objectivism, dudeism. Yeah. So that's 11 minutes of this video, almost 11 minutes. Hopefully you guys learned a little bit something that you didn't know before. If you learned something that you already know already, then that's good too. That's good too. Yeah. So yeah, peace the fuck out.